went out on top as a champion. The bus, right?
Yes.
And how is a team not rallying around Big Ben? And the division was weak. I mean, that's all they wanted, but they could have done more, man. Who they lose against too?
The Chiefs in Kansas.
And then Patrick Mahomes not even playing that good. I mean, I feel like he's been they figured him out already. He's been figured out.
We'll see how he changes up his game.
But let's switch it up to the NBA.
Yeah, bro. One of the major injuries.
What's popping, bro? Who got hurt? I didn't even know that he got hurt.
After having a decent game with all three of them, KD got injured. I believe he's out for
4 to 6
4
weeks.
to 6 weeks on a ligament injury.
Ouch.
So, this is right after, like I just said, them playing together. You finally got to see Kyrie, Harden, and KD play again, and they dominated. They beat the Bulls, right? We saw that. But, hey, now this guy's out. What happens to their team? Harden's going to have to carry the team now.
They'll be all right, bro.
You know?
They'll be all right.
Kyrie can only play partially. The other thing is, if they make it to the finals...
Hold up, he's still only playing partial games?
Yeah, only away games.
Only away games. So, here's the other thing. If they do make it to the finals, right? Do you think Kyrie gets vaccinated to play the whole final? Or only plays the away games?
I feel like by that time, they're going to be like...
They're going to make the
weed
exception?
compound's going to let you... It's protected you.
You think they're going to just make him the exception?
Yeah, the weed compounds. Because they don't test for marijuana in the league no more. So the weed compounds... No, just kidding. I don't know, man. It's just a stupid little situation. I mean, it's just... I don't understand why... Like... Actually, I do understand why. Because... They gotten so political in the league that now it's like they have to just do the same shit with that. And then since he's such a guy that stands on his political views, I feel like it's almost like let's make an example out of this guy.
So that nobody else does the same thing he's doing. Or takes his approach as well. Interesting. As we know, right, the Westbrook cannot find his shot for some reason. What do you guys think about that? Him not being able to find a shot.
Can somebody pull up his career stats, field goal percentage?
Career stats or this year?
Career.
And then the other thing is it's like having a lemon because we can't even trade him. He has no trade value at the moment. I mean, that's kind of sad. I mean, we 6 years straight up, we're like, nah, we don't want him.
So what do you want to know about his stats, Enzo?
All right, career stats.
Yeah.
What is he averaging? What do you average career? 23 points a game. And then this year he's down. So, look at the field goal percentage.
Field goal percentage.
The first one is
43.7 career.
Because you're saying it's a lemon, right?
Yeah.
So, career-wise, his only numbers that are down really is the points. And his 3-point, and his free throw. But it's like, it's not, his free throws drop a lot. He used to be at 80% from free throw.
That's what I'm saying, though. He can't find a shot, though. Any shot he takes, he's not finding. Whether it be the free throw, whether it be the 3-point.
I mean, a free throw is a free throw. You you get to the line and that's a free throw, bro. But it's like, I feel like he's not
even going to the line as much, bro. And even when he's at the line, he's not even making
I feel like it's more of a confident issue with him. And he's too in his head. Clearly,
because it's a lot of pressure to play.
It is, but it's like
he's never played with this amount of pressure.
And true, and then it's like it's a big market, man. It's like it's LA. You've always
the
played.
Fans are demanding.
DC is a small market. OKC is a small market. Houston is a big market, but not as big as LA.
No,
and it's not your hometown, so like I feel bad for him, but numbers wise, it's not that bad. He hasn't dropped off too much, like, from where he used to be career-wise, right?
But here's the thing. The thing that we're used to about Westbrook, right, is that by this time, he's already figured out how to play with his teammates. Usually, around this time.
Nah, because even when he had remember when it was him and on the Rockets?
With Harden. Yeah.
It took them a while. It didn't work. It didn't work to the point that they traded James Harden. And then later down the line, they traded Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I feel like all the pieces aren't falling together perfectly because for Westbrook to succeed, he has to have everything go in his favor. The difference now is everything is not in his favor. Everything is
He's overshadowed by the king.
Exactly. So
He's
my
not
thing,
the main
I don't
figure.
even blame this decision on Westbrook. I blame this on LeBron.
Well, yeah, especially when you hear the rumors of like
he
we almost
wanted
had Buddy
him.
Hill, the rumors that we almost had DeMar DeRozan, and I'm kind of like,
I feel like what
look at the
happened.
numbers that DeMar DeRozan.
This is another
He's
thing.
looking like an MVP.
This is
bro.
another thing about DeMar DeRozan. Look at DeMar DeRozan's career. Again, another guy.
Mhm.
Look at his career and look at where he started, the teams he was at, and all that. Right? Toronto. He gets drafted to Toronto, bro. When he got drafted to Toronto, he averaged less than 10 points. And in those 6 years in Toronto, he went from less than 10 to almost 25. Right?
Yeah.
Then he gets traded to the Spurs. From going to being a mid-range assassin to Popovich telling you need to work on your threes and your playmaking. He went from averaging 3 to I think 4 to 5 assists, maybe 3, 5, like no more than 5 assists. To with the Spurs, I think he was at like 6 or 7, something like that. 5.6, almost 6 assists a game. Like he got his it just got better.
Yeah, he improved them in other areas.
In other areas, right?
Yeah.
And then they did him a favor by not signing him and letting him go in free agency, right? Was he a free agent or they traded for him?
Yeah, I believe he was free agent, wasn't he more?
Or a sign-in trade?
Who, DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah, I think he was a
DeMar
sign-in
DeRozan.
I
trade.
think he was a free agent.
Damn, Lakers.
Yeah.
But anywho, then check this out. Then he goes to the Bulls, and
Now the combination of all that is coming into fruition.
where he
I
can,
got where you were
you
going.
know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
can,
like
he
now
can,
he's
he can
got the
score.
Mid-range assassin still. He's still got the 3. Look at the buzz beaters that he did back
They're all
to back.
threes, bro.
Threes.
And then
Yeah.
and it's like he knows where to pick his spot. He knows who, like, it's just so many things of having a vet that like just continue to elevate and grow.
But
as
see,
his
that's
game.
a guy that I knew would be a plug and play if he came to the Lakers.
For sure. That's what I said too. When I did not.
He would have been a starter, bro.
If we go back on the podcast a year ago, maybe 6 months ago, I was pushing for Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I was not pushing.
Well, we all were. We were all.
I
we
was
all
not
agreed on
pushing
that.
for Westbrook because
I don't think anybody saw his Westbrook deal coming. Honestly,
No one.
Yeah,
one
it was
saw
random.
coming. It was really random.
and I think it has. With that being said, it has LeBron name all over it, and that's why I feel like LeBron. That's the other crazy stat that when he went to Miami, when he came back to the Cavs, and it was him and Kyrie, they were 500 with the Cavs too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were always fighting, and they barely made it to the playoffs, but they ended up figuring it out. But I think they cost him a coach or something by that time.
Yeah.
You know? And Frank, shoot, he's on hot seat in my opinion. I've been saying this all season, bro. Like, we had a 4-game winning streak, and then you drop off 2 games. This is the 3rd game. If they lose tonight, it's the 3rd loss, right?
Yeah.
And we're playing, like,
The Jazz.
the Jazz.
The
What's the
Jazz.
record? They're 4th in the West?
Something
Yep.
like that.
But still, Donovan Mitchell, bro, is a hell of a player for them.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like it's not only him being a hell of a player, it's just the team. They play for the
Plus,
coach.
you have
They got
Clarkson.
Rudy. You got Clarkson off the
Yeah.
bench. You got
An
that white
ex-Laker
boy.
player too.
You got that white boy that I forgot his name, but he be shooting threes like crazy. He always gets in the Paul George's face. What's his name? The white boy from the Utah Jazz.
damn.
Come on, bro. Is it-
Joe
what-
Ingles?
Yeah, Joe Ingles. There you go.
The dad,
Yeah.
the guy looks like a dad, just like out
They're all dads
he's
in the
shooting
NBA,
threes.
bro.
He looks like
They're all dads in the NBA, bro.
True.
Just kidding.
he looks like the faithful dad in the
let me
NBA.
see the list real quick, bro.
Faithful dad.
He looks like the faithful dad in the NBA. That's what it looks like.
What do
Stanley
you guys?
Johnson gets on that 10.
No. What do you guys think about Magic chiming in?
I
Wow.
mean,
What do you think? Like what he said about the team?
The effort. He said he's already chimed in twice.
Yeah.
Last week he said, I forgot. Damn, what did he say last week?
What do you say?
Shit, what did he say? He was saying something, and then this week he said that the effort's not there. And then
Well,
he
you
called
can
out Jeannie
see it,
Buss. He said
like-
Jeannie Buss, they like basically saying Jeannie, you need to make a trade. That's why I saw it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's because you want to see results as a fan. You want to see the team come together. The fact that you have a roster this stacked and not seeing a team come together and play as a team
Facts.
is what's frustrating, right? Because
it is, but then you have to put like, bro, we don't have AD.
But even that's why. But even if you don't have AD, you should still be playing as a team. They
For
don't play as a team,
For
bro.
sure, but look, this is the thing. This is where I feel like when you're missing your defensive anchor in AD, that affects the team because now you're
Obviously,
doing
yes. No, I
now
agree.
we're going into the 10-day contracts that we're signing.
I agree with you that whenever you're missing a key player, it's a detriment to your team.
It
I
puts
agree
burden
with
on
you.
the other guys.
I agree
they
with
gotta
you.
pick up the
I
slack.
agree with you completely.
This just
But at
shows
the
how
same
much we
time-
need AD.
But at the,
like
at
his
the same
value,
time,
you know.
Yeah, at the same time though, the guys that are still there should still be able to play as a team even though he's not there. And that's kind of what you're seeing where like
I feel like on
They
offense
don't
they do.
have-
They don't have it on defense.
like they don't have that where you see them playing as a unit.
right, and
you
I
know?
feel like
The other thing, or like, and you're putting out a great point, which is on defense. They don't know, like a lot of times you see where some players don't even run back on time, you know. So it's like they're not going up as a block and coming down as a block. You know,
it's all effort for
Yeah.
sure. They lacking effort and that's
some players stay behind, and it's like, wow, all right, now it's 5 players on 3.
That's where it's weird that
Yeah.
I don't know why they just don't sign this kid Stanley Johnson to the whole rest of the season. This is his second, third 10-day contract. I think.
Yeah,
I thought after your second you got signed to the league,
The first one was because of COVID. So
they
like,
didn't penalize him like that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I was gonna ask you guys, how much you guys think a 10-day contract is worth?
Like 900,000, maybe less,
900,000 for 10 days. That's a hell of a deal.
maybe 200,000, something like that. I would say no less than 200,000.
I mean, but the thing is too, he's getting notoriety. You know, like that the Lakers are
It
winning.
says-
Like
It
that
says
helps
right
him a
here
lot.
from Hoop Rumors that they can be paid a minimum deal. Wait, let me see, for a 10-year veteran. But, wait, that's not for the 10-day though. 10-day deals are Ricky was. So it depends on how long you've been in the NBA.
exactly, because
So if you have zero years in the NBA, your 10-day salary could be $53,000. Sorry.
yeah,
And then let's say you have 10 plus years,
you get
it's
like
150 grand for 10 days.
Interesting.
So he's probably making.
See, and then
like
the vets minimum is like 900K, isn't it?
It says right here because the NBA doesn't want teams to avoid signing veteran players in favor of cheaper, younger
Rookie,
options. The
yeah.
league reimburses clubs who sign veterans with 3 or more years of experience to 10-day minimum salary contracts. In those instances,
So are the
team-
Lakers getting reimbursements for all these vets they signed?
probably
I don't think
in
there's
those
that type of
instances teams are on the
reimbursements.
hook for $95K.
I feel like it's like oh, we're not gonna fine you.
Interesting.
I don't know. About
Joe
you,
Johnson
bro.
got paid.
Almost 900K.
His salary was 150K, but the team paid 95,000. So maybe the NBA pays the rest.
And then, all right, bro. But we gotta keep going. Kuzma, bro. Look at his stats, bro.
His
How's he
2K rating.
doing?
His 2K rating went up. I feel like his went up because he's
More of a
not
starter,
the go-to guy. He's almost like the go-to A.
Mhm.
It's like the A player, not the B player. Because on the Lakers, he was like the D player, the C player. But now he seems like
his stats have gone up tremendously. He's putting up points. He's doing. I had a feeling that he was gonna have a little blow up.
I wonder what happened in that locker room that KCP and Montrezl Harrell got into.
Right. That's the other thing.
What did Kyle
like,
Kuzma? I bet you Kyle Kuzma was like, ooh.
For real, huh?
Since they're all been together, that whole team down here was in the Laker locker room before, so they must have been like, ooh.
Might have had some beef, yeah.
And then it just like, boom, escalated.
And then Zach Levine gets injured as well. You know.
What happened though? I saw the play, but it didn't look like it was like, oh shit. It just looked like he came down, landed, and then just what happened to him?
What happened to him, Mauricio? How
What
did
kind of injury is it?
Zach Levine get injured?
I was just looking up the Wizards teammates getting thrown down at halftime between Montrezl Harrell, so I just want to see what happened there. But I'll resume with that. So give me a sec with that, guys.
No.
Because you got that up, and I was
You
like,
said
we never
once.
talked about that, and it's valid. And this is something that they've been that I've been hearing on ESPN, where John Lennon says that every sports team has there's always fights within.
Yeah,
there's always
man.
fights,
Yeah.
and we just don't hear about them.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's just-
This one just became public.
honestly, man, even in families, there's always fights.
Yep.
Me and my brother always fight. It's off camera,
Facts.
but you know what I'm saying? Like we
It's
fight.
pretty normal.
He rolled
it's
his
just-
let's say knee injury.
Just weird though.
So yeah, I mean it's just this team is really hot, and it's ironic how both the top teams in the East haven't had a significant injury to them. And does this open the door for the Bucks or the
Definitely.
Sixers? You know,
Definitely helps them.
For
Alright,
sure.
so here it is, dude. so you can see it.
I saw it and it didn't look like much. Look, he's like, I can't walk on it no more. I can't run on it no more. He landed. It looked like, look, see, he gets the rebound, just lands on it.
Kind of like a little stiff kneed or something.
Nah, look, watch. He just catches a rebound. Nobody touched him.
Nah, it's the way he lands.
Yeah, but
His foot, the way he lands, dude.
it didn't.
Yeah, you see it?
I saw it, but it didn't look like anything to me. I feel like it was like something. It just kept over aggravating it, and then eventually it just popped.
But like,
Was it meniscus or what?
He's also a dunker, so that has a big thing to deal with.
It's like that Derek Rosa effect injury.
like they say, man, non-contact injuries are always the scariest, right?
Facts.
You don't know what it is, so we'll see what ends up happening with him, man.
They got someone on a 2-way contract right now for him.
Who'd they get?
It says the MRI shows no structural damage to the knee of Chicago Bulls Zach Levine, according to a report by ESPN.
All right.
So as of right now, there's nothing that they're seeing in the MRI, but yeah, I can't see anything without talking about if it's specific meniscus or anything like that. But they're saying that back in 2017 when he played with the Wolves, he did tear his ACL. So
Interesting.
maybe that could be sore, things like
Yeah,
that.
like a re-aggravating.
Re-aggravating
That's what I'm
things.
saying. Like, because he's a dunker, that can also be something that can
Yeah.
like.
All right, Maury, tell us about these waves.
Las Olitas. So just an update on Novak Djokovic. He had to drop out of the Australian Open because
He
of
didn't want the vaccine, huh?
he didn't want to take it, and
He lied. No, I think he lied about taking the vaccine. Then he got caught for that, right?
Oh, so you had a fake card?
No, I think he said that he showed up and then they denied him because he said nah, something like that. From what I read, can you clarify that, Mauricio?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, but it's saying the latest. Just adding to this, France, which is the next major tournament for tennis, they just passed a new vaccine mandate, so it could affect them there as well. So what it says right here is that number one, Djokovic arrived in his native Serbia this Monday after being deported from Australia on Sunday because he is not vaccinated against COVID-19. But it doesn't say anything about him lying about it.
Oh shit! Where was it? Yeah, I found. Or maybe it was an Instagram thing I read. Hold on, let me see. All right, so then what's your next wave, Mauricio? Do you guys think it was fair for Australia to do that? Australia's really one of those countries that's really locking down on these
They've been
two.
like
I
damn near
mean,
locked
you're
down.
Since
entering
day
a
one, I
country,
think.
bro. Like once you're talking about a country, I mean,
Might.
that's their decision, and that's like what they've decided. You gotta respect it. You're the one that has to enter there, so you gotta respect their rules.
All right, peep it. All right, so what's up with Cesar Chavez Jr. fighting Jake Paul?
Well, they're saying that that's the next fight for Jake Paul. Jake
Nah,
Paul's talking about he
boring.
wants to fight an actual boxer.
That
someone
sucks.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That hasn't won
Trash.
in years,
Yep.
Yep.
and that only has the name of
Washed,
Chavez notoriety.
But I'm gonna point to something that Chael Sonnen said, and as long as Jake Paul keeps, what was his quote that he said?
Winning?
He said he keeps not just winning, but
Knocking
doing
him
what
out?
he says.
People are gonna want to see him get knocked
Yeah,
out.
and so far he has
So
done
he's,
that.
he's gonna keep interest in him.
But what
You know
about
what I
this
mean?
whole thing about one of them fighting Logan Paul for 50 million? I mean, Mike Tyson.
It's
Was it
Logan.
Logan?
That's Logan
Yeah,
Paul.
Oh, that's Logan.
Yeah, Logan.
You see,
Yeah, and then did you
Logan's
guys
and
taking-
it's another exhibition.
Logan is taking the big names, right?
And it's another
took
exhibition.
Floyd, now he's taking Mike.
This is not an actual fight; it's an
No?
exhibition because. I don't know.
another
That's
BS.
just. It's just to me at the end of the day, it's a distraction. Man
then
charged
Forbes
with
says that no, Mike Tyson is not fighting Jake Paul.
What?
That Mike Tyson's representative says this.
Oh, they just came out that it was a lie.
Was it 6 hours ago? That's what it says on Forbes.
Nice. Okay, so man charged with. I can't see because there it is.
A man was charged with giving Olympic athletes performance drugs. A guy out of Texas, I believe.
Oh shit!
Damn, what are you sucking on, bro?
Pause.
Because you can hear all this like succulous effects
Put it on
going
camera. Put it on camera so they can see
But what
you're doing.
what I'd like to ask you guys is, based on this question, is
You
you
didn't
guys
answer our
think there
question.
should be some
What do you
kind
say
of,
now?
I know.
I don't want to say Olympic, but just some kind of sport or something where they do allow these things?
Steroids?
Yeah, steroids, and we see.
I
They
mean,
do in the UFC. They
don't-
just cycle off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, just kidding.
But I'm
And
talking about, like,
I feel like
all
the
these other
NBA too.
sports
Yeah.
of, like-
Hey, all sports, bro. You just gotta know when to cycle off.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like all these things, but like where
Like,
you're
you're
like
saying
where it's
like
allowed, where it's like you
illegal,
can do.
like you know that this guy's
Bro.
on.
Yeah, like
I mean,
all,
we've
all
looked
these
at-
people.
WWF.
But I'm not
Bro.
talking about like wrestling. I'm talking about like these
We
kind of
looked
like
at
what you see in the
pictures
Olympics.
of AD, bro. We looked at the pictures of Giannis, how they came into the league, and
But
then
we're
a
not
few
talking
years
about
later,
that. I'm talking about
they're all
they
beefed
would
up.
create a tournament just for these type of athletes, where they compete in
for roid
all
comp-
different
So
types of
Joyce,
events.
a juice competition.
Yeah, juice competition of all different type of events. So
that would be crazy.
track and field with someone juiced out,
So a skater even juiced out.
all that, bro.
Fucking a
Bow and arrow guy,
bowling guy.
badminton, bro, all that.
What
Fucking
about skate figure?
Ski, bro. Even the paraplegics can be having steroids, bro. Like
Bro,
everybody's on
that's
steroids.
wild. You,
Like,
you
Melissa,
being
make
My
it
a-
question
happen,
is,
bro.
what country wins?
What
United
country
States.
wins?
United States.
Everybody's
China.
on roids.
Gold to the United States.
Bro, Russia, I
China
think.
China gets China gets
Russia already
silver.
didn't Russia already like
And
wait, got
Russia
banned
gets-
at some point for it?
Yeah, they
Germany.
got banned for
But
the
I'm just talking
roids.
about it's legal. What country does it makes it? Yeah.
Germany.
That could be too,
'Cause,
man.
'cause
Germany
their
has
genes-
crazy science, dude. They have crazy
Cuba.
scientists. Cubans too,
Cuba.
Cuban
bro.
All right, let's switch topics to the UFC.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
guys watch the
Boom,
fights
boom.
this
Just
last
tell
week?
us about the main fight night. Go for it.
Qatar and
Calvin
Right.
Kattar, man. Calvin Kattar did his thing. He did his.
How do you say
came
his
out.
name? Kachega or
Giga
Kachiga?
Jikadze.
Yeah, bro,
Uh,
we can say it properly.
Giga Jikadze. This guy came into the
What'd I
fight
tell you,
undefeated in
Mauricio?
the UFC.
What did I tell
what
you?
did Enzo tell you?
What did I
last
tell
week?
you, bro?
Didn't
That
you just-
even though he was in an undefeated streak,
Oh yeah.
That Qatar was gonna beat his ass. I mean,
Exactly.
But you were also calling
Qatar.
Kattar.
Okay, I said that he's the gatekeeper of the
gatekeeper.
top five.
And like I hate using that, just throwing that out there for just about
Okay,
any
okay,
fighter
that
like
sounds wrong
especially
because he's a
Calvin Kattar.
hell of a fighter. But bro,
Oh,
the
yeah.
way he got pieced up on Max Holloway, bro.
You're fighting Max Holloway, bro. Come
Still,
on, dog. Like, this
dog.
guy's a
Still,
reigning
bro.
champion, bro.
Right, and then who else beat him in the top five?
has
who?
he fought Brian Ortega?
No, they're saying that
No.
might be his next fight though.
That probably would be the best fight for him at this point, just because.
Has he fought Yair?
I think he fought.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
who else has he fought, bro?
He hasn't fought anybody in the top five.
Yes, he had. I feel like he lost to somebody else in the top
Because
five. Did he fight Alexander?
probably Volkanovski.
Yeah, I think he lost to Alex.
So, from 2017, he's fought Andre Fili. He fought Chris Fishgold. He fought Renato Moicano, who he lost to. He fought Shane Burgos in 2019. He fought Zabit. He
Morganaveres?
lost to him. He beat Ricardo Lamas 2020. He fought Danny Ainge. Jeremy Stevens he beat. He lost to Max Holloway and then he beat Giga. So in the top five, he's really
Only
fought
Holloway.
Holloway.
Only Holloway.
Really? I feel like he
Yeah.
had lost to somebody else. Damn, that must have been a bad loss. I mean, that was a bad loss. He got pieced up.
He had to take a whole year off, bro. And then
Shut
Dana White even
up.
said it.
You're off.
Dana White said it. When you take a beating like that, it's the wisest thing to take a year off and regroup yourself and all those things.
What
'Cause
dog?
mentally
That was
speaking,
the, that was
Did
the,
you guys see?
that was the one where
put it
he-
on the. Did you see the spinning elbow, bro?
Mhm.
And then the thing that the announcers were like, "Oh, he's beating him up like how Holloway beat him up." That it was impressive.
Yeah.
That somebody remembered the last fight you had a loss in, and you double back and beat the guy that beat you. Not that guy, but they gotta run it back.
Nah,
though.
but Holloway was...
Max Holloway, he came out of his fight, right? He pulled out of his card, right?
400, what was it, like 400 something strikes on
He
him?
pulled out of that card. He should fight Kattar now.
Nah, Kattar, like you said, should fight Brian Ortega next.
And now I feel like because Brian Ortega to me should get a rematch.
Yeah, we'll see.
In my opinion, bro.
We'll see what happens.
That fight was
As of the way it's going right now, I think Korean Zombie's gonna get that fight.
the title.
Sácate el dulce, bro. No se entiende nada.
That's so. All right.
UFC 270, bro. Like, tell us what's on there.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
on
we
that
have
card?
two championship fights in the
it's only
flyweight
two
division.
now?
We're gonna have
Oh,
Brandon,
that's right because they put Amanda Nunes soon.
Brandon Moreno, is gonna fight and he's gonna defend his title up against
That's a
Davison
good one.
Figueiredo to complete the trilogy.
The trilogy.
To complete the rubber match, better said.
Why?
This is a rubber match because they're one on. Oh, no, actually, it's not a rubber match because the first one was a draw.
It's a draw.
Forgot about that. So it's how would you put this for Figueiredo? It's 0-1-1. For Brandon Moreno, it's 1-0-1. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
that's
got
what we
Brandon
got.
winning again, bro. I watched both fights over the last weekend, and Brandon just feels like. I feel like honestly though, in that division, they're gonna be the only guys really competing in that. Who else? Who else do you have that in that division?
Yeah. No.
Brandon Roybal is the guy that just fought this weekend. I believe he won as well.
Yeah, but I ain't seen him.
The guy that just beat Cody Garbrandt, actually, bro.
What's his name?
I forgot his name. I can't think about it right now.
Who else is on that card though? Francis Ngannou, and then who else?
We also had
versus Hirogon.
Hirogon, yes. So that's actually a very good. Before we get there, actually, we'll go back down.
Well, I'm trying to see what else.
Greg Hardy's fighting this fight up against Sergey Spivak, and he came out and said recently that he's opened up the door for
boxing.
Not just the boxers, for NFL players to make the transition to MMA. So he wants to see who's gonna make that leap. Michael Pereira is fighting this weekend as well. So that's what's gonna be on the main card.
Is that what's his name's opponent that knocked him out?
Who?
Is he? Is Pereira? Is not that?
No, he's in the welterweight division.
Oh, okay.
Prelims, we got. Man, this is a kind of a dry card here, bro.
It is, bro.
It is. Dude. It's only the two last fights that are like the most interesting.
But you know,
I mean, I watched the Pereira fight. I watched the Greg Hardy fight. But yeah, man, it's a kind of a Silviana Suarez. I mean, this girl from Argentina is gonna be in the early prelims. It's a name to watch. Who else? That's about it.
All right. So how do you guys feel about the cringe master trying to get back?
We're not there yet. Hold up. We're talking about the main event. Francis Ngannou versus Hirogon.
Hey,
Francis Ngannou.
El jefe dijo que a tiempo.
Today I was watching his come up, and it's funny how at first they didn't know how to pronounce his name, so they said Francis Ngannou. And that's what Joe Rogan and everybody was calling him until they finally found out it was Francis Ngannou. And basically the story of Francis goes that he got to France, started training in France, started winning in the UFC, and he saw that if he came to the US he'd probably be able to train better and you know, grow as a fighter. So he comes to the US.
I think you got it wrong. He wanted to be a boxer, and then they told
he was
him,
a kickboxer.
They told him better.
Yeah, he wanted to be a boxer, and then he got into kickboxing.
Yeah, the coach was
again,
like,
I watched the thing today. He was already competing in the UFC, and then he decided to come to the US.
Saw the same one, but you skipped the whole spot.
He was never in the UFC in France.
Yes,
he was
fighting out of France.
Yeah.
Yes,
fighting for the UFC. He was training in France.
Both ways.
He moved over here.
And the guy that's training his opponent now trained him also.
Yeah, they trained them both together. They were sparring and everything. And that's when he was saying in the thing, the trainer says that he was like, I'll help you get over there, but I'm not leaving. I have my family here.
Yeah, so.
But my point is that early in his career, Francis, they even say out of France. Out of fighting out of Cameroon by way of France, because that's where he was. That's where he started and everything. He moved to the U.S. and even while fighting here in the U.S., they had to fly out people from France to have him spar with him and all that stuff. And now he's up against Hirogon, which is a former sparring partner, someone that knows him, that knows his power and all these things.
Well, knows the way he used to be though, not the current self.
I mean, the only thing that's changed with the current stuff is the takedown defense, and Hirogon's not that type of fighter. So that's the type of that's basically the storyline behind this. You know, former training partners now fighting to unify the title.
They're trying to make that a storyline. There's no fucking storyline because Francis got no fucking voice to even make it a storyline.
Still a storyline. Still, like they still have history.
He doesn't have a character. You're saying
they still have
even for the UFC to purposely put him in his path in a past card just to make it seem like it's a WWF. Oh shit! They just like, bro, that was so corny to me, bro. And like Francis even says, like, bro, we don't have no problem. He's just the guy that's next up.
It's still something that I think there's
the storyline. The real storyline that you want to talk about is more like the grudge match between George and Kobe. That's the storyline. You feel me?
Yeah.
This one that they're trying to create, they're just
no. It's not a grudge match for sure. But
that's a grudge match, bro.
Look, there's something different that when people go up against Francis is that they never even felt his power before. Ciro has already felt that before. So it's a different.
Yeah, but I don't.
Have you seen those sparring? Have you seen those sparring?
I don't think there's.
Have you seen those sparring sessions, Mauricio?
Yeah, and then I also saw what the coach said about it, and he said that the coach was like it wasn't really to show that the one is better than the other. It was just really to show that they've touched before. And
exactly, but when
he said he has other footage where Francis has got him put on his ass by Ciro. You know, there's all this stuff going on.
Yeah, but then Francis says there's also if you show the unedited video, he says the same thing about So we're gonna find out on Saturday. But this is my thing: training and then fighting and an actual fight are two different things.
Yeah.
Like you really feel
you're not trying to kill
how are you gonna train and then break your hand in training? because you're trying to like, oh, he hit me. So
Well, that's one
that's
thing that
that's
they
the
were-
dumb thing that would.
What's the one thing that they're mentioning when he moved here to the U.S. is that he was having trouble not just finding sparring partners, but having people that would last the whole camp because he was injuring his opponents. You know what I mean? So sometimes not even full power is gonna do that to people. You know, they're gonna. And just imagine once you get into the octagon.
I feel like Francis is the type of guy that didn't even know his own power, and maybe that's why it was that case, because he's a freak of nature.
He is. He's
You
a
know?
specimen.
Like
Yeah.
he's just
a
different.
specimen.
It's like, it's almost like when what's his face, Mike Tyson is being trained by his coach, and then this guy is like a freak of nature. He don't even know what he can do. That's why I feel like the knockout powers and obviously come from Francis, but did you see that other thing where this dude was throwing spinning elbows and shit?
My Hirogon moves like a welterweight.
Yes, bro. He does have light fucking feet. So
Yeah, he bobs in and out all the time.
we gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, official picks before we move on to the next thing. Francis versus Hirogon. Who you guys got?
UFC.
Francis.
All right, Manny. Byron, who you got?
Champion Francis.
Francis champion. All right, Enzo.
I said the UFC's gonna win this one. They're winning on this one.
Yes, that's right there, ladies and gentlemen. Is Enzo not wanting to be wrong? So
Nah. I'm gonna give you a definite on Brandon Moreno. I just don't know who that, bro. They're both fucking sick ass fighters. I just don't know who to pick on this one. I got no dog in this fight. UFC's winning on this one. Thank you for taking my $60.
70 now, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Man, this
Thank
one
you,
for me,
ESPN.
it gets torn in the middle because I like when we were talking about betting money. My heart is with Francis, but my money is with
You
Hirogon.
see, this is some bullshit. We should actually bet this weekend.
It's hard, bro. But I got the
How?
guy for you guys. If you guys want to
Where?
do that, we'll talk about it afterwards.
Nah, bro. Yeah.
Hirogon, man, it's funny because he's right now. He is the. What makes you the underdog? The minus?
Hmm?
No, it's the plus.
Apurate que tenemos una hora. Apurate.
So right now
No,
the
I
odds
can-
are
no.
plus 135 for Francis, and that's interesting. But all right, then Brandon versus
Brandon.
Brandon.
Figueiredo.
Brandon.
I think Figueiredo goes out there hot. I don't say he's gonna win, but I think he goes out in the first round trying to knock him out.
He's
'cause
already been scared twice.
in that first fight. That's what he did. Brandon showed his chin, and in this second one, he was a lot more calculated, but it just allowed Brandon to kind of more pick him apart with the jab. But I got the champion again. What you guys think?
Brandon.
That's the champion, Brandon.
I'm gonna go with Figueiredo.
Byron.
Warm.
Oh, 'cause he
Byron.
looks like you?
yeah.
Because he's the Brazilian version of you.
That and then I feel like Brandon's gonna win, but I want to just also go.
You just want to go against the grain?
Yeah.
Yeah, controversy.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool.
So
The cringe, what I wanna
let's
say
just
about
skip that
that-
little cringe guy because he don't really matter. Real
so
Madrid, I'm just kidding.
Basically, he was upset. Sandro Cejudo was upset that he's not getting considered for the title shot for the featherweight title. And Dana White came and said, you've been retired for 2.5 years. And maybe if you came and fought for your title in your division, it'd be a talk. But that's why I posted you can't cringe your way to a title shot. What do you guys think about that?
Well, he can't, bro. I mean, he's got to come in and prove himself.
I mean, he has proven himself. He's a double champ.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
feel like he just wants the treatment that Conor could get because he hears Conor can possibly get. He's coming off losses,
yeah,
and he possibly get a title fight.
but he doesn't move the
that's-
ratings like that, though.
He doesn't, but he feels like his resume as far as a combat sport athlete is it should speak for itself. And I agree in that sense, but I also agree with you. He just doesn't move the needle enough.
Yeah.
Usually small fighters like that don't. So I don't know,
As of
man.
right now, the Francis is plus 135. He's the underdog. Sirgon is the minus 155. So if you guys want to bet, this is the week to do it. But yeah,
Real Madrid. Tell me what's up with Real Madrid,
Sir.
Manny.
So, Real
Make
Madrid
it quick.
on
Make it
this-
quick and snappy.
I'm gonna make it quick and snappy if you let me.
1-0. 1-0. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
No.
Real Madrid broke the heart of Enzo because they eliminated Barcelona last week from the Spanish Cup. They were like, bye-bye. They defeated 3-2.
Quítame la cámara.
And then this weekend, they ended up defeating Atletico Bilbao and won the cup 2-0. So hey, good for them. They won the cup, which is what matters. And then after that, we have Man U with a lot of issues. They were winning the game 2-0. They let go of the reins, lost control of the match, and they end up tying the game 2-2.
That's kind of solidifying themselves in first place right now.
Huh?
That makes was this for because I remember him saying Bayern said something about the Supercopa.
Yeah, they were playing. I saw.
You guys are going back to Real Madrid. Okay, the Supercopa basically that's a domestic cup within the Spanish league, and they won that domestic cup. They're
that
also
was this Sunday,
still right? That was this Sunday. There was no league games. That was it. So yeah. That there was league games, but it was just the teams that were playing for that cup didn't play.
But the league game that happened didn't Barcelona and
no, that was
play?
not a league. That was not a league game. That was for the cup. That was for that cup.
Oh, okay.
So it was basically the semifinals to the final. So and Real Madrid ended up eliminating them. That's what that was.
Do you think Sevilla can catch Real Madrid in the table? They're behind five points. Sevilla.
Nah, I think Real Madrid still got it. They're doing really good. They're still pretty hot.
All of a sudden.
I don't see a reason why they should falter behind, unless like an injury happens. To one of their strikers. I mean, that would be the major issue because they've been dealing with like COVID stuff and having players out, and they've still been doing decently fine. So. I think they'll be good.
Who's the face of that franchise right now? Benzema?
Well, I mean, if you want to say leadership, yes. But if you want to say, like, who's actually stealing the headlines, I would say it's Vinicius. For the longest.
Brazilian, right?
Yeah, he's been in the shadows. Like, when they got him, they knew that he was going to be good, but this has been his season.
It's like breakout season.
Yeah, this season has been, like, the season where he's been dominating like crazy. Because before everybody would just be like he runs and dribbles but like doesn't do anything, but now he's like scoring goals, dictating games.
My dad told me about him early on. He's like, si le dan este chavo el balón. Wow.
The other one that's a sleeper too, that's another Brazilian, is Rodrigo, which plays on the right wing, and that's another one. If that kid gets a hold of it, I mean, he could spark up like him too. But we'll see what ends up happening. Back to Man U. Having a lot of locker room issues. Ronaldo did an interview stating about how like these new players don't like to take criticism. Some people speculate that it could be criticism of talking about it, like the players that he's dealing with and who he's playing with. We have also heard rumors of basically about 17 players disgruntled. This weekend we had a situation where the coach didn't take any strikers to have as a backup. One of the main ones that is usually a backup is Anthony Martial, and the coach came out and said in the press conference that Anthony Martial didn't want to play for the team. After the coach said that, Anthony Martial releases a statement on his social media saying, I would never disrespect Man U like that. I have been here for 7 years, and if they wanted me to play, I would play. So you're having a player go against the coach. We'll see like how that turns out, what ends up happening. Man City right now is securing the title. They're up in front. They're cleared right now about 10 points from second place, so they're doing really well. Inter Milan is also the front runners within the Italian league right now. They're a few points ahead. They're not like too much of a lead, but I mean they're in first place. They also just won their domestic cup in the Italian league, so that's good for them. The other thing is Rafa Benitez, which has always been like a decent coach, just got sacked from Everton because in the last like around 12 games, he literally only won one game, had 2 ties, and then 9 losses. So they decided to sack him. So we'll see who becomes the coach of Everton. But yeah, that's it for the soccer update, you guys. Have a good one.
Buenas noches,
Till next week.
Have a good night.
All right, I'm gonna go to.
We're not having a Wednesday.